All right, welcome back to the Game Tech and CutRite short form podcast, Just the Tip Tuesdays, just enough to get you excited about what we're talking about well, I think now that you just had a birthday, Ryan, two officially old guys with
Oh yeah.
more hunting experience than kills, I would probably venture to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah. We definitely think we're better than we are.
Hey, I'm the best hunter in the world in my own mind.
Oh,
There's no way about that.
no. No.
Like
We're
I'm
we
pretty
never miss.
I'm pretty damn good. Just like Wayne Gretzky says, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and the ones that you actually do miss, you just don't tell anybody you took those. So you're good to go.
well,
You never
and
miss.
everyone I hunt with will tell you Ryan's never seen a shot he couldn't make.
Oh, 100%. I mean, like 347 yards, and I have to thread the needle through a bunch of branches. 100% I'm taking that shot.
What could go wrong? What
And
could go wrong?
if it hits the tree, then I just look at my partner and I'm like, I never took that shot. And they're like, I swear you took that shot. I'm like, nope, never took that shot.
Oh, that's really good because I'm the guy that it's like, was that tree there? I don't remember that tree. I swear that was gone. That branch snuck in there.
That I swear the wind blew. There wasn't a branch in my sight. The wind blew that branch in my way. That happens more times than not. So, dude, we teased it last week. We have a pretty freaking rad announcement for everybody today. So, what do we got, buddy? Lay it on them. I want to hear it.
So we've been working super hard. Mike's been working really hard. Our app developer, our videographer's been working really hard.
Ryan's been working really hard as well.
Yeah, kind of working hard. But the CutRite mobile app is coming out with a huge update this week. We're super excited for it. New elk content, new views. I mean, everything you can think of. I think we've got it.
Well, we've been talking about an update from when the app initially launched 3 years ago about what we could do better. And we said, we'll wait and hear from our users and everything. And while the app has, all 5-star reviews and people love it, we knew we could do it better if we did it again. So we questioned some of our trusted partners in the industry, some users. We did some introspection and thought about it. And, I'm going to go ahead and say it that the video quality and the sound quality and the angles are amazing. And I would say they would rival anything that huge hunting conglomerate out of Bozeman has put out in terms of field dressing and butchering content, both in terms of education, angles, clarity of video, sound. I don't think it could be done better. Like, I really don't. Like, looking back at all of our videos, and, we've spent 4 months. We filmed it in January. Then we filmed Bear, which will be coming out later this year, hopefully. And spent months and months and months editing those videos. And boy, they're freaking good, man. I'm so excited about this update.
Those new angles are awesome. Our first generation of the app, or first series of the app, just had straight on, and it shows you, taking off that hind quarter, for example, but you really don't get the view of the hands as well as we liked. And that was a big reason for this. And, with this new way, I mean, you can see exactly what Mike's hands are doing, where that ball joint is. He shows you where it's at. You see the hands working. For those of you that want to get faster, want to learn the gutless method, and this is just the field dressing side of things.
Well, one of the big
huge.
things everybody asked for was taxidermy content. So we go through the correct way to cape your animal for a shoulder mount, and get the head off and everything. The views are phenomenal. The lighting is super clear. One of the problems that in the first version of the app, I felt with the butchering content, you get to butchering and, you hit top round or bottom round. You take the bottom round off, but then to watch the next video in the sequence, you got to take your bloody glove off, hit the next button, and it shows it. So this new butchering tab that we have, there's an intro that goes through where the cuts are and everything, but then there is a full butchering video. and it's parenthesized long, and you can hit play, and legitimately you and I will cut your animal from removing the silver skin and just go through it in absolute real time. It's a huge video file, but if you're doing it on, your kitchen island with the TV in front of you or your computer,
Yep.
you hit play and we go through it step by step. I'm explaining it. And if you want it another way, you can just hit those individual buttons as well. One of the big things too, if you remember, Ryan, on the first version of the app, some of those field videos were 15, 17 minutes long, and we eventually added a focus version.
Right.
So user, you don't have to worry about that anymore. We got those videos. I think the longest video is 5 minutes. They are direct and to the point. All the camera switches views to what's appropriate for you. It's just I am so stoked about this and the future where the app's going. This app update that we have, guys, it's freaking phenomenal. If you were on the fence about foregoing your coffee and scone or your coffee and bagel one morning because it's a $14.99 for a year, there's another app out there that does have butchering and field dressing on it, and it is $99 per year. 99 bucks a year, $14.99 a year. But we also, there's also the recipe book on it.
Yep.
There's also like tips and tricks. Like we've added some meat care tips and tricks. Remember we filmed that whole section on how to clean your meat when you get it home.
Yep.
So like you're not dirtying up your butcher block, or if you are bringing it to somebody like me, which you won't have to for 14 bucks because you'll have it in the app, like how to clean it off so you don't get $100 upcharge, all these things like,
right.
And as usual, it's downloadable to your phone, so you don't even freaking need cell phone service when you're on the hill, man.
Yeah, especially for the field dressing information. Dude, I mean, it's
so important.
It's nice. I have to pull it up just to do the ball joint on the hind quarter every time, just because. Man, I hit the stomach every time. It feels like I'm doing a hind quarter. I mean, I don't hit the guts, but I open up the stomach in some point where you're like, "Whew, that could have been bad."
Well, we've talked about it, and we have some ads coming out eventually, but it's really generational knowledge that the app has in your pocket. Like if you're a new hunter and you go out with somebody that hunts and you're the shooter and you kill an animal, more than likely you're going to be like, hey, I'll take the front quarter and you take the hind quarter because you've hunted and killed stuff before. And then you ask your partner, you're like, well, how'd you know where that was? And they usually say, well, you just cut here and you find it. We eliminate the you just cut here and find it. We tell you exactly where it is. And it's always the only animals it's not in the same spot. It's a little different in bear because they're not ungulates, but every ungulate, antelope, moose, deer, elk. You pick the ungulate, the ball joint is in the exact same spot when you're doing the gutless on the hind quarter. There's no more. My dad told me, like, you just cut here and it's down in there. Like, maybe your dad didn't hunt. Like my family didn't hunt. For years, like when I was in my teen years, it was like, just cut here. But we elucidate that. We tell you exactly where it is. And like I said, I've watched the videos, because we kind of have the pre-release version. I've watched the videos so many times, and every time I watch them, I just smile and I sit back, like when I'm drinking my coffee or whatever, I'm like, holy cow, man, we did it. Like we did it. This thing, like looking at this update, like the app's always been rad and it's been super good. Right. But watching the videos on this update, the first version of this app was really good. And I'm not going to downplay it, but the first version of the app is Bush League compared to what's on there now.
Yeah, it's.
I can't believe how good this is.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I think we got your vision was with exactly what you were looking for.
And I think, one of the problems with the first filming and the first version of the app, I kind of went in green, not truly recognizing that I kind of had to be director and producer and the person behind it because the camera guy did his thing. And once that was done filming and I saw the product, I kind of have been synthesizing it for 3 years. Like, oh, okay, now I get the whole picture and I needed to get feedback and everything. And I honestly, I think we hit a home run. I think we hit, I think we hit a grand slam being the fourth batter in the top of the first inning. Like, that's how good this app is.
It's so
It's so good, dude. It is
it's so
so good. You know,
And
and so
well, and I'll just add one more thing into it
yeah.
all, and this is for the butchering. I know too many people that they eat the back straps of steaks and then they just grind or jerky or summer sausage the rest of the animal. I mean, even if you feel like you know what you're doing on the field dressing, and it's like, oh, I just follow the muscle groups, it is key to know what each muscle is, whether it's the top round, bottom round. I mean, it's important. I mean, I get way more steaks now that I know the muscles, and I don't even have it memorized. I've watched those videos I don't know how many times, and every time I butcher, I'll still turn that on because I still don't remember it, and that's why you have the app.
Well, we added that section to the butchering where there's the cuts, and I show you the cuts. You can refer to them on the meat map or the thing, and what those cuts are best used for. Like, in my opinion, and as a chef's opinion, you can obviously use them for what you want, but like, different cuts are better at different things. Like, I was gonna say the app. Maybe you're a 20+ year hunter. You're like, I don't need a freaking app. I know what I'm doing. We like ground meat. The butchering section, I'm a butcher, dude. My price for an elk this year is $5.50. Like, in the average price across 5 states. I posted it on Instagram last week. I called 20+ butcher shops in our western states. The price ranged from over $900 in Oregon and Washington to $400 in Montana and Wyoming. And the sweet spot after you average those all together were $600. Or if you follow through step by step, hit the long version with me to do the front quarter and the hind quarter, you're looking at an hour and a half. So you double that because you got 2 of those. So 3 hours, then you trim up the back straps and you're talking 3 hours, 45 minutes, 4 hours. If you follow through the whole video step by step with me for $14.
Well, and then tell them how fast you do a hind quarter.
I don't want to.
Well, the only reason
I don't want to tell them that.
The only reason I say that is I'm not saying you're going to get to a professional butcher status.
Yep.
But it's going to be 3-4 hours the first time, and then it's going to be 2 hours, and then before you know it's going to be 1 hour, and before you know it, after if you're like me, you forget it because it's been 9 months since you've used. You've done that, but Ryan, it will get faster every time.
Ryan's referring to a humble brag that I sent his way because with Griffin's elk, I filmed the whole butchering of one of the hindquarters, and I aged it for 12 days. So there was a good amount of rind, and aged meat is way easier to butcher, right? And your knife slides through it like butter. It's so much easier than wet meat or fresh meat. And so to trim all the rind off, to cut all the muscle groups out, trim them up to butcher block quality cuts, not wrapping, and I did this for speed to see how fast I could do it without cutting my fingers off. 10 minutes, 20 seconds.
Yeah. And I'm not saying you'll get there, but you'll get faster. It won't be a 4-hour process.
I promise you will get that hindquarter down, to an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half. And for me, the average hindquarter, because I'm listening, I'm looking, I geek out on that stuff. I'm like, oh, I wonder, I'm constantly, even with my clients, like, I always deliver the most and the best meat I can, but I try little tricks and things sometimes, like, well, if I just remove this, I wonder if it makes it easier. So average for me comes out to about an hour, but this one I was like, I'm going to go the order that I went in the app, and I'm just going to bust it. And I just put the phone up on a tripod. I told Griffin to go upstairs, that I just need to focus and work. And I kind of, like when Michael Jordan said, when you're in the zone, the rim's just a big old bucket and you can't miss a shot. Like, I was totally in the butchering zone. I felt like Mr. Miyagi with nunchucks with my knives, like, whoo, 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 whoo. And next thing I know, I hit stop and I was like, oh, that was 10 minutes, 20 seconds. That was pretty neat. So, you will get there. It'll speed up, and dude, it's just so awesome. I'm so stoked about it.
And 4 hours of your time beats $400 in Montana.
Oh, $400 in Montana,
800 in
plus.
Oregon.
And if you're in Washington, 900, and a couple places in Oregon, you're going to be lucky to get out of the butcher shop with less than $1,000 bill. So for $14.99, like, it's a no-brainer to me. Like, everybody has Onyx on their phone. Everybody should have this app right next to it. They should have, during elk season, Onyx, Elk Nut, and CutRite right there. Like, those should be the 3 apps you don't leave home without.
Right. Oh, I agree. I don't leave home without them.
Yeah, me neither, buddy. Me neither. And just so the listener knows, and this is crazy, we still pay for these apps, guys. I still pay. I got a 1-year free code for myself. I still pay $14.99 for CutRite every year. So it's not like, oh yeah, he's doing that because he gets it for free. First of all, it's $14.99. Give me a freaking break. Second of all, I pay for my own app.
I've got 3 emails on different one of our apps for testing and different things like that.
And you probably have to pay all of them.
Yeah, yep. I do.
So we have skin in the game. So we have skin in the game. So listen, in addition to that, we have, listener, just freaking download it. We're going to put a link. Ryan, hopefully maybe you could put a link to the CutRite app in the show notes.
Yeah.
Down at the bottom. That'd be great. We'll put a link up on Insta. You could, on a story, you can get to the app from the link on the CutRite mobile Instagram page. We'll inundate you with it. Like, it's literally, it's the best purchase you can make to save money. Like, you're in panic buying mode. You're buying new Born Primitive, Sitka, whatever you are, your bow. You're like, I need new arrows. I want a heavier FOC. I want to do 4 fletch instead of 3 fletch. So you're paying a bow shop $100 an arrow because it's crunch time for them too. It's $14, guys. It is $14. This will actually save you a hell of a lot of money in the long run.
Well, and I'll tell you something. I know there's listeners out there going right now, yeah, but you have to buy a grinder and you have to buy this and you have to buy that. You don't have to buy those things. But compared to a $400, and I'm going the lower end, a $400 butcher bill, you're $119 into a grinder.
Listen, here's the deal. You shoot an elk and a deer a year. Right? That's the average person shoots an elk and a deer a year. If they're lucky, they get an elk each year, right? So you get 2 animals a year. You need a 1/2 horsepower grinder. You're looking at $159. Get the meat or the lem one. Go to Cabela's, get that one. Don't use the KitchenAid one attachment. Those suck, all right? Get a big cutting board. It's going to cost you $69, like one of the big ones. That way you don't dirty up your thing. For $27, get the Victorinox 6 or 8-inch boning knife off of Amazon. You are now less than $200 for equipment that will last you for a decade or more for all of your animals.
Yep.
That is less than the butcher bill at the cheapest butcher for one
animal.
Yep. And I forgot $14 as well. So you're $214 in. You're still $185 in the green. The only time you'll ever be in the green if you're a hunter is by buying this app.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you don't know what you're doing, or if you just want to get more efficient, or actually want to eat your meat, it's a good thing.
And then it gives, like, the recipes are an added bonus. That's, we have future update plans with the recipes to get videos and all that stuff and expand that recipe book to, the 80 plus that we now have. It's just,
hey, nobody told me about more videos for the recipes. I don't know if these listeners can watch your ugly mug anymore than they have to.
Hey, I'll have Griffin seems to be the biggest hit on Instagram in the hunting industry right now. That post of his elk has like 20,000 views right now, which is huge in the hunting industry for like an elk kill early in the season. So maybe I'll have Griffin start cooking. We'll put Griffin's.
Yeah, he's at least got hair.
I'm not even commenting on that. That's not even funny. I can't help that. That's genetic, man.
Give him 10 years, he won't have it anymore.
His hair will be gone. So, hey, in like the 5 or 6 minutes we have left, if the listeners made it this far, which I hope they have, let's talk about one thing to think about this season in the elk woods. So next week, so this is dropping Tuesday, 1 week from this drop. It will be the last podcast that we have before the season starts. Now, we're going to run podcasts during the season for your listening pleasure, but we're going to put on an oldie but a goodie right before the season starts for you guys. We've talked about what we're going to put up. We'll let you know that coming up. But let's talk about one thing to keep in mind this elk season, and the idea that I want you to keep in the back of your mind is patience.
Oh, that's a huge one. On the podcast, I've talked about running and gunning 18 miles a day, trying to find elk, moving, and it's not 18 every time. It's just what your Garmin watch says every once in a while when you're moving. Mm-hmm. But I like to move. I'm not a tree stand hunter by any means, or a blind hunter, I'll go sit a wallow for an hour, like finish a night at a wallow, definitely something. Or definitely the first week of the season when it's really hot and there's not a lot of action going. But I've found, and Paul talks about it all the freaking time, that he's killed bulls and it took him 3 hours to call this bull. Or, it took us 2 hours to call this one. And he, in his podcasts and, in these stories he's shared, it takes time. And sometimes we get to the point where we just want to go kill this elk. We don't want to sit. We don't want to be patient. And so I'm a believer in moving and finding those elk, calling, locating. But when you find them, be patient and hold back and, take your time, make the right place, check your wind, do these things. And I found...
And the key word he said there is make the right plays. We're not advocating. You see a herd of cows and a bull amongst them feeding up from where they bedded down at the creek bottom up to their feeding zone with 30 minutes of light left. There's a time to sit on your haunches and wait for them to feed to you. And then there's a time for you, as Ryan just said, make the right play. And the patience I think he's referring to is take a couple minutes and take inventory of the situation. If you're calling and they're not super into what you're serving them, maybe you got to be a little aggressive, right? The patience lies in taking stock of what's going on and then making the right play, right? Well, so that's for me. Like I'm a super duper aggressive elk hunter, but when I hear a bugle or see elk and we're talking or whatever, I'm not just like bombing straight to him as fast as I can. I'm going to be patient, even if it's only for like 3 to 5 minutes, take inventory and stock of the situation, then make my move, whatever that move is. So we're not advocating, well, Ryan and Mike, they've been doing this, 50 total years and they said to sit and wait. No, we're not saying sit and wait.
No,
we're saying be patient and see what the elk are giving you and see where you think they'll make a mistake and then make your move.
Well, I've said on podcasts that I sit and call for 30 minutes, and if nothing's happened, I move real slow. I mean, it's not as important. I mean, they know there's elk above them, right? Or to the side of them. And so you can make a little noise on your retreat in, but I'm going slow because I don't know where they're bedded. I don't know where these elk are necessarily.
Oh, yes. That's key.
But I'm going slow, but I know that sweet range is 150 yards in. And so I'm like, I'm 250 yards out. Instead of going, let's go 150 yards further, it's like, we're going to go 50. I don't know where these elk are, but we're going to just, if this play takes us all day, I'll either bust them or we're going to get them.
Well, we had a situation when I had an old hunting partner who I don't hunt with anymore. And we saw a herd of elk feeding up with a good bull. And we cut the distance in half, so we were about 180 yards. We were communicating, and we communicated with them. And, the time was of the essence. Sun was setting. We communicated with them for about 12 to 14 minutes, and I sat there and watched everything and saw it. And I remember my hunting partner kind of looked down to change his read, and I just took off. Like, because I spent that 12 minutes reading the situation.
Right.
And I took off legitimately, like, as much as a 6'2", 220-pound guy can be a bat out of hell, firing straight at this herd of elk. That's what I did through matchsticks and reprod. And I cut the distance to about 40 yards, knocked down an elk, gave the cow signal for him to come down. He came down. He's like, where in the hell did you go? Like, you just went full, like, Rambo aggressive at him. I said, well, we did that for 12 minutes and they weren't moving at all. They were answering, but they were feeding. They didn't care. Like, this was not the situation to sit on our haunches and just wait for them to feed to us. We had 20 minutes till it got dark. Like, I'm going to go or we're not going to get them, period. So that's,
Well, and there is times to do that. Like, I mean, I've had shots in elk where we got ahead of them and they fed into us. Like, there is times, but read the situation, but don't be afraid to sit for an hour. Don't be, and I'm not saying just sit blind, but don't be afraid to play the game.
My good buddy Ryan Miller phrased it, and I'm probably bastardizing how he phrased it, but patience with purpose. Don't just, practice patience with purpose. Don't just sit there and eat a breakfast burrito at a time when there's nothing around and it's a good time to hunt elk and stuff. Like, be purposefully patient. Like, take stock of the inventory. Like, if you hear elk 600 yards away and you call and they call, and then 8 minutes later you hear chirping at 400 yards away, that means they're moving towards you. Like, practice purposeful patience. Like,
take the time
really
to
important.
think, oh wow, they're closer. What do I, do I keep cutting the distance, or how do I play this? Because if I hear a bull at 600 yards, I'm
immediately
that distance.
thinking cutting the distance.
I'm cutting the distance.
But if you hear it at 600 yards, you identify it, you wait a couple minutes, and you want to relocate it just so when you cut the distance, you're cutting it the right way, and you do it again, you're like, oh, he's a couple hundred yards closer now. That bull is coming to you, and bulls will come in from 400 to 600 yards away if they're all fired up.
Oh, man.
And at that, that's that time for that purposeful patience. Like, okay, he's coming. Like, let's cut a little bit of the distance and use your gut instincts. But that patience in those situations is key.
Well, and I shot a spike on last day 2 years ago, and we were sitting there. And we were looking across the canyon, and there's, a herd bull with some cows and a little 5-point, just kind of satellite bull that we could see. And we made some cow sounds, and that satellite bugled, and he was running. I mean, over a mile away, coming around from where we were glassing. And then the herd bull was ticked because he wanted us to go there, but he wasn't going to leave his cows to come to us.
Correct.
And we sat here and just, I mean, I was freezing. It was
cold that day, I remember.
It was cold. We probably sat there for 2 hours watching this, trying to get this. And this bull was on a run, but that herd bull kept cutting him off. And we're just watching this, trying to figure out what to do. We're like, well, let's get closer, and as we're getting closer, I'm just sitting there, and these two spikes come up to these cow sounds, that were just below us.
Yep.
And it was like, well, it's last day. I don't know. Maybe we should have gone and played those once we realized it wasn't coming.
Last day that animal eats an arrow.
They came up 20 yards frontal, went down to feed, drew, shot it, and we had a dead elk. But I mean, they will come and they will make sounds in the right moments from long distances. And I'm not sure if we made the right play as of sitting there as long as we did, thinking that raghorn or that small 5 was going to make it around. And maybe we should have, got faster and snuck in. And so I'm not saying, I mean, we're not perfect hunters by any means and make the right play. But sitting there, I mean, worked out for us. There was a lot of elk in that country. If there's a herd bull with cows, there could be 5 or 6 satellite bulls around it. And, that one can't make it, but who knows? One of the bottom ones can make it up with the play and sneak in. And that's kind of what happened. And we got one on the last day, and it was great. And, Taylor called really well, but I like that. Patience and purpose, with purpose. Yep. Is that what it was?
Practice purposeful patience.
Yep.
3 Ps.
Message of the day.
Well, listen, guys, go buy the app. Go buy it. Love it. Enjoy it. And I'm going to throw it out there, and I throw it out there on, all the podcasts I do. I was on School September with Jim Huntsman last year. been on Western Contours, all of them. I always say, and the offer is always there. DM me. Like I've had, if my buddy from Colorado who hunted in the San Juans last year is on here, you and I talked while you were standing over a dead elk last year. You DM me and we had a conversation. Like you had the app, like, and I like, if I get it and I'm in reception, like I will answer those. So always feel free to reach out with your field dressing, butchering, culinary questions. I'm usually pretty dang responsive to the DMs on Instagram. Go buy the app. You're going to freaking love it. We love it. Like mine is like, there, in my opinion, the new elk videos, there's nothing else we can do to make them better. They are freaking amazing. Like we will eventually get to updating deer and adding more animals and stuff like that. Those are draw tags, but like the elk videos, and let's be honest, a deer is a really small elk, right? And an antelope is an even smaller elk, and a moose is a big elk. So it's all transferable. In that elk footage, guys, you're gonna freaking love it. Go buy it. And so Ryan, I'm gonna say this. Next week, we're gonna, re-air an oldie but a goodie podcast, hopefully with the elk nut on it, if we can manage to figure that out.
Yeah, let's see if I can figure that out.
On the intro to the podcast, I think we give our top two within 5 minutes, because that podcast, if I remember, is about a 45-minute one where Paul's talking. I think on the intro and the 5-minute intro, we give our personal top 2 elk hunting tips. Because I have 2, but I'm not going to give them now. I want to give them before that elk nut one airs.
Sounds good. Well, maybe after the elk nut, that's what we could do, is go in more depth on our 2 favorite tips on the next podcast.
I love it. I love it. Listen, guys, thank you so much. Season's getting close. I know some of you in Oregon open the 15th. I know a lot of you are out chasing pronghorn and stuff. And like Chris Young, I had 100 and some yards slide on the ground, desert stalk through goat heads, and rattlesnakes are out there. So get after that hunt. That one's on you guys, not me. I won't do that one. Shoot straight, eat well, have a heck of a great season, and we'll talk to you next week.